So, welcome back. Want everyone to know how appreciated they are. This is Bill, and I'm going to do a really cool, quick little potato dish. It's gratin potatoes. Just want to show you some of the kind of tricks that I do. Make this really simple. It's really great because once you get it all put together, it goes in the oven. You kind of forget about it for a while. The prep work though was just minimal. That's what I really like about it, and I make this quite a bit, so we're going to have fun with it. So first off, I got 4 tablespoons of butter that I'm melting in here, and this is kind of a really nice kind of French kind of potato thing, and I'm actually making this ahead of time, but I'm going to serve it tonight for dinner with some chicken cordon bleu, and so I want this to have a little extra kind of sauce to it because that's going to really help flavor the chicken. Alright, we're just about done. We're bubbling up here pretty good. I've got some garlic. Gotta turn it down a little bit. Got some garlic here. And we just want to soften it up. I love that butter and garlic. Just need a few twists of pepper. You know how much I love pepper, so we're going to twist and twist here a little bit. And this is going to bake for a while, so I'm really trying to extract some of the oil, the garlic oil, out of the garlic. So I'm not really too worried because it's going to roast in the oven and kind of make everything happy. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to finish this roux. Like kangaroo roux. Yeah. So I need 3 tablespoons of flour. And this isn't chemistry experiment, so we'll make it pretty close. I just used the bag to scrape it down. And 3. Get that the heck out of my way. So I got my little whisk here. Just going to whisk this up. And rule of thumb is you just always want, before you do anything more, when you get the flour in the pot, you need to spend about a minute so it has a really good solid roux to it. So I'm thinking I need about 3.5 cups, 3.5 cups. Like I said, I'm going to make it a little extra. So let's get started. I've got 3.5 in here, and we'll see if I need it all. I'm going to get that first little bit in here to kind of cool down the raging inferno. And remember, we're just going to add a little bit of time. Now we've got to cool down enough I can bring the heat back up. Oven's up to temperature, 375. back to my spoon so I can get in the corners and make sure everything's good. I'm going to pause to let everything kind of just start to get a little bubbly. And while I'm patiently doing that, let's season it up a little bit. So all I did was I picked a few thyme sprigs, and I just want it to have some time to cook in here, so that's why I want to get it in now. Because that's really what's going to make this just taste so darn yummy. It's not much, just a teaspoon. It's all nice and thick. Looks like I'm only going to need about 3 cups. Now, as long as you have the heat on low, you don't have to worry. But if you're trying to do it in high speed, just make sure you don't stop stirring, or you will have a mess on your hands. You'll scorch the whole thing to the bottom of the pan. Okay, so I need about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, because that's the other flavor we want. So we're getting this all nice and toasty. And we put this together. If we got too much sauce, we just don't put it all in. It's not going to kill anything. If you feel like you don't have enough, guess what? I'm going to have this reserve half a cup, quarter cup of liquid milk that I can pour in there. And make sure you use whole milk or half and half. The higher the fat content, the less likely it is to kind of break, come apart when it's cooking in the oven. And we're going to use russet potatoes for the exact same reason. High starch content, so it's going to help everything bind better. Alright, so you just have to have a little patience when you're making a good sauce like this. So I'm going to turn it down real low. It's really kind of maximum efficiency here. It's nice and creamy. I'll show you when I put it all together. So let me move this out of my way. And in true French fashion, we're going to use Swiss cheese. Gruyere would be, the real true thing. But I just want about a cup of either one in here. Just stir that in. Turn it off. I'm going to set off the heat because it's really done all its cooking. And this is a pretty heavy pot. If you've got light pot or pans that you're using, pots of pans, you can certainly turn it on low and just watch it for a minute. But you can see this is still steaming here, so I think we're all good. Alright, so I got two potatoes. I've already peeled them. They're going to turn brown really quickly, so I want to make sure that I got them in some ice water to keep them ready. And I know I've mentioned this, but now I'm going to show you. So I don't want, when you're cutting starchy things, sometimes your knife gets kind of stuck in them. So if you just take a little cooking spray, and what I just do, and you don't have to get right down to the blade because I don't want any fingers damaged. But and I don't even have to go complete length of the blade. I'm just holding it so that the edge is down on the cutting board, less likely to cut myself. And so I'm going to shake one of these potatoes out. I'm going to show you how much easier this is. So the first thing I want to do is I want to cut it in half lengthwise. So find a place to rest your knife and just push right through. Then what I want to do, because this is a little safer, and I'm not really concerned about waste. I want it to look good, so I'm going to cut one end off, and this piece is going in the sink because we just want these nice thin little pieces. So I'm just rocking my knife. If you ever cut potatoes, you'd be like, wow, that's amazing. Once again, we get down to that funny last little piece. Check that. And do the same with the other half. And I've still got another potato in there. Just gonna I really should have used a larger cutting board, but it's kind of tough in these. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you here in a minute. And this is not a race when you're using the knife, okay? And I do not take my eyes off my hands, because even the best of us, can accidentally do some damage. So I'm going to take. I have my dish that I buttered. It's been in the fridge, and I got some onion that I kind of quartered, sliced, and I just want to get a layer on the bottom here. I want to get my potato in here. This is a good time for my bench scraper, but it's in the drawer. So I had about a pound and a half of potatoes, before they were peeled. So it's not making a huge amount. This is really kind of like a, yeah, dinner for two leftovers, I call it. Now my knife's starting to drag through it. If I want, I could reapply the cooking spray, but I think it's okay. So we're going to do another layer of onion. Let's get that potato in there. You can see these are pretty thin little cuts. So really, to cook them, what we're going to do is we're going to cook them covered to get the potato cooked for just about an hour, and then we're just going to uncover it and cook it just to get a little color on top, just to brown it. So if you don't have any cooking spray, just keep rinsing your knife off. This is pretty good, but I'm just going to give it a quick rinse. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. The moment of truth. Oops. Cool just enough to get a little skin on top, so let's give it a quick stir. And I just want to make sure they're completely covered. Probably had a little bit too much, but that's all the garlic and good stuff, so guess what? It's going in there. Cannot leave my garlic behind. So I just want to kind of push it around, make sure the potatoes are floating and even and beautiful. So now, like I said, we're going to cover this, and if you're using another type of dish, you can just put tin foil on. That's what I usually do, but I'm using my Corningware dish. And it's going to go in the oven, and I'm going to check it out. So I'll be back to tell you what it's like. See you in an hour. Wow, this smells really good. Let me tell you, just that little bit of time, it makes all the difference in the world, and it's just so worth getting some fresh thyme for it. So I baked it for an oven with a lid on to make sure the potatoes got cooked. I uncovered it. It was actually a little less than an hour. 50 minutes really seemed to work at 375. And then lid off, back in the oven to kind of get some brown crunchies around. And I'll show you what that lovely looks like. Now remember, I wanted some extra sauce because I'm making my chicken cordon bleu, so I thought that would really add to it. Oh. I just want to stick a fork in and eat it. And so the irony is, so you have this really good tasting, but you know, we gotta make it look appealing to the eye, right? So what am I gonna do? So you can see there's just a little bit of thyme in here, not a lot. I'm trying not to break up the potatoes, but what we want to do for color is we just got some fresh chopped chive, and you see, you just add color, and all of a sudden people are like, wow, it looks really good. What a difference a little chive makes. Can you believe it? But all I can tell you is it smells really good, it came out really well. Yeah, I'm really drooling. So, you know the drill. Watch my videos, subscribe to them, have fun, make a lot of good food, and have fun. Enjoy. It shouldn't be really stressful. Just deep breath, have a glass of wine if you need to, and make some really good food. I'll see you next time. Thanks.